Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
Dr. Taraya M. Richmond, PLLC. When it comes to your family's health and women's services, and you're looking for excellence in healthcare, look no further than your family medicine physician, Dr. Taraya M. Richmond, PLLC. Call Dr. Richmond today at 713-453-6962 to schedule your next appointment.
Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
So hey everybody, and welcome back to Docs. I'm Dr. Simone Ellis, and I'm super excited to be here today because we have an amazing topic. Of course, if you want to find me, you can check me out at Smile Design Studios, located at 6130 Highway 6 in Missouri City, Texas, to get all your dental needs. And on social media, I'm at Dr. Simone Ellis on Instagram or Simone Ellis on Facebook. And so let me kick it over to my other two guest hosts, but not my guest host, because I'm host. You guys are official now. It's like a part of the Docs brand. Let me kick it over to now you guys faces that's consistently here. So we got of course CP, Dr. CP. Let's go ahead and get your introduction.
What's up, y'all? It's Dr. Kwanzaa, MD. I'm your board certified DJ doctor, an emergency medicine physician. I own a concierge practice. I'm also a DJ, and we are just kicking it over here on the Docs.
She's like a really good DJ. Let me just tell you about what she did for my birthday. Made my whole entire life, got my spirit together. You did miss out. Let's talk about the missed out doctor. What's your name? Should we even consider you relevant today? Because you just hurt my feelings.
Right now. Dr. Uzo, you can follow me on Instagram at UZO_MD. I am now board certified actually as of last week in anesthesiology and finishing up a pain management fellowship. So
can we talk about this black excellence? Cheers to that.
Yes.
Nice.
Y'all gotta tell me
Congratulations.
about this party I missed though.
Oh my God.
We had a good time.
Man, let me tell you, sweat for
birthday,
days. Thank you. It's on Wednesday, and I'm officially 25. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Turn 25 every year.
There you go.
So, I mean, really though. So, well, before we get started to introduce just love this host. Seriously, I feel like she's like a sister that I did never have that I really want to have in my life now. So I'm super excited. We want to talk about what happened on this day. So part of these segments that we have going on is that we want to tell you what happened in medicine on this day. So what we got?
Definitely. So this is not necessarily an overt medical thing, but it's pertinent to what has been going on socially the last couple months, couple years. So on this day in 1999, Congress actually rejected a new gun control bill.
Wow.
And so it was rejected, sort of recurring theme like we have now, because certain portions of people thought that it went too far in terms of how much control it was going to be, the bill was going to introduce, and some people didn't think that it went far enough. So I think it's interesting. So one of the big things was that they were going to the background checks, requiring at least 24 hours for background checks. And there were a couple other things, too, that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think it's interesting that now, basically 20 years later, it's the same thing, same conversation that's still happening.
Yeah.
So
definitely crazy. But thank you for this on this day.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely relevant. I mean, it didn't have to be medical related. That was
I don't know.
Good words.
Especially since Santa Fe just happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Trauma,
Exactly.
deaths,
Definitely.
especially in our community. That's very important. Most definitely.
Well, guys, I want to make sure for all of our guests that are people that are listening into our show today, I get a chance to introduce this amazing doctor. We have Melanin Medicine, of course, as a segment, and I could not be happier to introduce our guest because she's Melanin and in medicine. Dr. Jana Ellison, how are you doing today?
Great. Thank you, Sid.
Thank
super
Slow to
excited.
warm up. Give us a break. Okay?
Right?
It's Monday. It's raining.
Right.
Give us a
It
second.
is,
The
right.
rain killed it.
Okay.
Rain
Well,
killed it, yeah.
let's talk a little bit about your history and who you are and what you do. So could you tell for us, all the great listeners out here, what do you do, where you work, where you're from, what school did you go to?
Absolutely. So my name is Dana Ellison. I am an OB-GYN. I currently work for Legacy Community Health, which is a Medicaid clinic. It's a FQHC, federally qualified health center. Legacy. I originally, after finishing residency in 2009, did private practice for 4 years at Women's Hospital, and I enjoyed it, but just decided that I wanted to get back to working with Medicaid patients that I worked with when I did residency at LBJ.
I've known Dana forever. Well, we all have, right?
Well, because where did she go to school at?
XU. XU.
Right?
I'm Mr. Party. I didn't go to XU.
Sorry. Yeah, you're missing out on a lot of parties. You're missing out on a lot of parties, yes.
So what made you go back to Medicaid? Like,
I
that's
think
awesome.
I think when I was in residency working with county patients, I loved it, but I just didn't, I wanted to try something else and didn't know that was my love until
Okay.
I tried something else. So I did private practice, just wasn't my thing, and decided to go back to where my passion is, which is
awesome.
and working with the underserved.
Yeah.
Dana is much happier.
Yes.
Like, they used to be like, you'd be like, how's work? She'd be like, I
Uh.
hate it. I mean, I was just like, I'm just trying to see how your day was, but
Well, and you guys, is Medicaid the same as it is for like our patient base? When we have like a heavily medicated population, it ends up being like a different type of clientele. When you guys are servicing it from the medicine side standpoint, is it the same? Because for dentistry, it's a little different.
Well, I think for me, since I'm OB-GYN, we get
A wide variety.
99% of that is because they're pregnant that they're qualifying for Medicaid.
Okay.
And so at my clinic that I work at specifically, it's the largest legacy clinic, and we have a pediatric side, but as far as the OB-GYN side, we just do OB.
Okay.
We don't do gynecology. So that's why most of our patients are Medicaid, because they qualify for it due to the pregnancy.
that's awesome. It's so needed, too. Like, I get so tired of, having to deal with situations where you're trying to do the right thing for a patient.
Right.
And it's very difficult because of funding, not because you don't want to help or to serve, but when you have to bring other specialists on board,
Right.
it can be very difficult, especially if it's something elective or perceived as not emergent.
Do you
Right.
do that the same thing as well with payment?
Well,
management?
I mean, yes and no. For us, it's a little bit, it's different because we're obviously not necessarily like a primary care type field, but in residency, definitely. I rotated at LBJ as a resident, so I see that patient population, that the whole access and everything else is just different than patients who have private insurance or things like that. So certainly a very needed area. So that's amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Awesome. So you also do some fun stuff on the side. So that was really what we brought you here today to talk about. But tell us a little bit about what you're doing as far as your new venture.
So let me just start by saying that I was a social media hater. Like,
I get it.
Really?
yeah,
Interesting.
was not on. I tried Facebook.
So you're the anti of what we're talking about today, right?
I was. I tried Facebook for like a few months, almost 10 years ago. Hated it. Didn't like the lack of privacy, and just decided, because it was difficult being in private practice, and you walking in your hallway in your private practice, and somebody's like,
Hey, girl.
I saw you tagged on. I saw you tagged on such and such's page.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
out. No.
I'm a real human.
I get
I'm
that.
sorry.
Right.
Hey,
While
I
got
get
my
found
lights
at the
on.
spot, okay? I get found out, like, I'm like, well, hey,
Hey.
this is an experiment.
Right.
Test tubes, chemistry, yeah. Mixology.
Got it.
You got it, yeah.
Right.
Just
So-
kidding. All things in moderation.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
got it.
So, so I got off of it, and then just decided a few months ago to get back. Actually, a year ago to get back on it, but I never posted. And then a few months ago, started posting. And so within that, I've kind of found my voice and my presence on social media, and got encouraged to kind of broaden that. One of the people that did
I mean,
that
she's
for
a
me-
guru if you don't follow CP. Like,
No, I'm
seriously.
not.
No,
Yes.
seriously.
I'm work in progress.
Yeah.
Hey, we're getting better. the reason why I can attest to what she's saying, because I wasn't really a fan either. But the thing you have to learn is if you want to get your message out there, you have to use the platform that's out there and that people resonate with, and it may not be about what you actually want or what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And so we all have to break that little barrier, and so yay, Dana.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So what about you? Do you feel like you're social media doing it, or kind of like, hey, I was studying for my boards, like let me get my life
I
together?
definitely was like off of everything for like the last month. It's interesting that you say what you said about like Facebook and everything, because when Facebook first came out, I think I was first or second year of college, and everybody's like, "Oh, there's this new social media thing."
Did you say
Everybody's on
first or
it.
second year of college?
Yeah,
Wow.
just just let
Sorry,
it breeze
my
on
bad.
through.
Wow.
Breeze on
Like,
through.
wow.
I didn't
Wow.
mean that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Wow.
But I was when it came out back in the day.
When it came out, so bad.
But I was similar. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm putting all my information out there for everybody to
Yeah.
know where I stay, where I go to college. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got on and slowly sort of got on the Instagram and stuff like that. But even now, it's still very much a work in progress in terms of, like you said, using it and using the platform that it provides you for. So,
Right.
Yeah. So, well, let's go ahead and what is your social media handle so people can follow
So
you?
I'm
now?
on Instagram, ladybug_lifestyle. Also, I'm on Facebook. You can find me on Daily, DAYLEIGH, or Ladybug Lifestyle is also my Facebook page.
Awesome. And what is that geared towards?
So my Ladybug Lifestyle page is geared towards, I have 5 principles, my life principles: faith, fitness, foodie, I'm a foodie, love to eat healthy food, and finance and fulfillment. So each day I run through each of those principles
Love it.
and how I live it out in my life and what that means to me, and also just trying to share it so other people can learn, pick up whatever they want to pick up from it, and whatever they can get out of it, they get out of it.
I
And
love it.
yeah.
Dope.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, another part of this show is highlighting professionals who support us here at the Docs. And big shout out to one of my favorite people, Dr. Terea Richmond, PLLC.
Yeah,
shout out. She's so amazing. So she has an amazing practice, and finding excellence in healthcare is no easy task. We all know this, right, when you're trying to schedule a doctor's appointment. So when you begin that journey, look no further than your local family medicine physician, Dr. Terea M. Richmond, PLLC. Dr. Richmond offers an array of services, including pap smears, breast exams, STI screenings, yikes, contraceptive management, prenatal care, and so much more. Call Dr. Terea M. Richmond, PLLC to schedule your next appointment today at area code 713-453-6962. And she's awesome, y'all. She's good people, so
Yeah.
give her a call.
And
thanks
body
for
fitness,
sponsoring.
she's super awesome. Like,
Oh my gosh,
I
she's
know, right?
killing it.
Yeah,
I
she's
love
really
her
doing
so
great
much.
things, yeah.
Dana, I'm so proud of you.
yes.
I
Really
never
great
thought I would see
stuff.
the day.
Well, and I'm glad that you're here, because the reason why I thought it would be a really great way to tie you into what we're doing is today's topic is, of course, is social media and its impact on human isolation. And we're not even just talking about social media, even the phones, like what else is keeping people from interacting. And so your platform is how to basically become all these wonderful things through finance, through fitness, through, fulfillment, but you probably need some portion of engagement to do so. And so
Sure.
let's talk a little bit about a hot topic. We didn't get a chance to really go into the deaths that were going on, I think about 10 days ago, with Anthony Bourdain in
Right.
regards to Kate Spade.
Yeah.
And so I talk about perception versus reality. Social media. I just listened to Kate Spade's How I Built This on NPR.
Oh,
And
cool.
it was her and her husband literally a couple of weeks ago going about how wonderful excitement their life is. They had just sold, Kate Spade had just sold from Nordstrom's over to Coach for like $1 billion. I mean, like, they have a lot of things going on that are on a whole nother level. They were just starting Jack Spade, which was her husband's company. And then you find out a couple weeks later she kills herself, right? And not only does she kill herself, she leaves that note, right?
Right.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about, did you guys see the note? Like, Ask Daddy.
Yeah.
Mic drop. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
For real. Yeah.
Crazy.
And that was a public display what she did as well. I mean, so I actually had a coworker who killed himself. He actually hung himself in the front yard. And again, very a public sort of showing, even though it was in her house. But I was talking to a friend who's a psychiatrist, and she was just like, when people are in pain and they're to that level where they feel like they want to hurt themselves, like, they'll just do anything to get out of pain. It's not a rational brain. It's not a healthy brain. They'll just
Yeah.
do anything at all.
And what do you guys feel about that from the perception versus reality? Because again, like social media, like we're perceiving these people, and you probably, when suicide happens, did you perceive your friend as somebody that was going to do that? Like, what's the perception? And then social media, how it even impacts these people, or what people are perceiving online. And then Anthony Bourdain, another person. I mean, he's on Parts Unknown and all these TV shows. I'm a huge foodie, so I love Top Chef. He's always on there, you know, like I'm like, his perception, he always came off really callous, but he was like, seemed very confident. And to see that extreme a couple of days later, you know, let's talk a little bit about our opinions about perception versus reality.
Well, I think part of social media is that you always have to put up a front, right?
Right.
So if you are somebody in that you know, high profile, especially, I mean, that's above and beyond what we're living with, right? I think it's even worse, and I think that that's part of their lifestyle, like that's their bread and butter. And I think that if that front is disrupted, you know, that could be their downfall.
Absolutely.
So I think that's why there's such an abrupt, you know, shift from what we saw 2 weeks ago. You know, Kate Spade, you know, with these deals, her and her husband. I mean, even I saw her Instagram page. She just posted something about live your life in color, like the day before.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
She committed suicide. And so I think that I think that they just had two different lives, and they could not express in their minds what they were really going through because they thought that would be their downfall. And they felt like their only way out was to just
let it go.
End it.
And I think, I mean, to piggyback off of that, I think you never really know what somebody's going through. And it really makes you, when something that tragic and drastic happens, it makes you take a step back and think about conversations maybe you had with somebody, or mannerisms, or things that you maybe saw that you didn't pick up on or delve deeper into, because from the outside looking in, they got it all, right? They got money, they got influence, like everything that most people aspire to have. And so to comprehend that there's something that's lacking so deep inside that they would do something like that, is just, it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
I think social media plays a role, though. Like, what do you think about how that really affects, aside from putting on a front, like, do y'all think it goes deeper than that? Like, is it hitting people harder than that in terms of their ability to integrate in the outside world and just connect with people?
So we have a couple of different topics we're going to get into, because you're right, like it definitely has an impact. So let's talk a little bit about social media and what's going on right now. So some stats that I threw out there: 22% of teens log on to their favorite social media. How many times do you think a day?
100.
Really? 100?
Yeah.
Average. Like 10.
No.
You think more now?
I think like 20.
I'd guess more.
Well, this was done in 2010,
yeah.
so maybe there's like 8 years.
I mean,
later,
100 might be. I hope 100 is egregious. I mean, but
Well,
think about how many
do you
times
think-
people like.
I check it all the time now.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't like that. I'm trying to train
out of
myself
it?
to not, because at the end, it's not meaningful checking. It's just
Yeah.
checking for no reason.
Right.
Well, it's kind of like numbing,
conditioned
right? You're
to
just
it,
like,
Right.
Like,
And-
if you're not doing something, it's like, well, let me see what's popping up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Right.
can't not be doing something, you know?
So that was just teens, and then 75% of teens own a cell phone, and 25% of them just use it straight for social media.
Oh, what was that? What was the stat? What was that?
10 times.
Oh,
But I was like, but that was
sorry.
done out in
2010,
2010.
then it's
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, so I mean, a phone came out every year since that
Right.
information, since the study was done.
But were the notification settings the way they were?
I
Gosh, Facebook and
Everything
Instagram,
has
y'all.
evolved
Yeah,
since
you know,
then.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dodging notifications.
Right.
Like,
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't know.
I don't wanna.
Well, I stopped putting notifications on my phone.
Yeah,
from,
me too.
Yeah.
Now I get a sprinkle of Jesus and comment.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
come through. Come on,
Comment,
comment.
and I stay on there, but sprinkle of
I need to download
Jesus
that app.
and
I
comment.
I do like
Yeah.
sprinkle of Jesus.
Sprinkle of Jesus is
is
hilarious.
Yeah,
So.
it's great.
And then another stat they had was 54% of people text instead of communication.
Yeah.
So like instead of you picking up the phone, 54%. Oh, but I hate that, because we're going to talk about what that does when you don't get a chance to hear someone's voice, let alone interact with them.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
I
when
hear
you
voices all day.
all day.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all can attest to that. I mean,
Yeah, I feel her.
Don't
Yeah.
you feel like you're talking all
All
day
day long.
literally?
Yeah, you feel like you're talking all the time?
I do.
See, you don't have to worry about that because people's mouths.
No, but see, what we deal with is I just left a patient that I was like, so I did your front teeth and they were fine, and now today you want to have a straight up panic attack. So I am talking to the anxiety and the stress, or my team who. Okay, so let's talk about this. So
It's amazing.
It was awesome,
Shout out.
and it's great. So, well, guys, we're gonna go into more social media and how it's really impacting human isolation. There's even a part that I want to talk about with dating, like how it's so awkward to now date because people don't know how to communicate. They don't even know these social cues. So we'll get into that. But the only way that you can find out about our information, of course, is to subscribe to all our major platforms. So we're on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, you name it, we're on it. Review our show on iTunes with constructive feedback. So, guys, we want to know how to make this show better. And so, of course, we take those reviews very seriously. And then, of course, if you love this show, share it on Facebook with your friends and family. Make sure they get a chance to hear the information and get our subscribers up. I don't know if you guys saw, but our stats went up almost 20% last month.
Awesome.
More subscribers, so we're doing great. And of course, donate to our mission so we can bring you guys enriched and inspiring content each and every week. You can donate at www.thesphere.tv/donate. So guys, we're going to end this Facebook Live, but come on over to iTunes or whatever your podcast is to subscribe. So check you guys out later. Peace out. All right, so what do you guys think about this? Like the problems that social media, of course, have is now children under the age of 18, they're spending 7.5 hours a day.
No way. 7 hours in a day?
7 days a week on media.
Wait, 7 hours
social
total?
media. Yeah, so
During
on the
a week?
computer.
No, during the day.
7 hours during the
During
day.
one
believe it.
day?
I believe it too.
Workday, people.
I believe it.
No,
Uh-uh.
I mean,
7
think
hours?
about it. There's at school, they're spending time. At lunch, you can spend a whole hour, and by the end of the day, they're on TV watching TV or playing video games.
Yeah.
I definitely believe
Do they
that.
even play video games anymore? Or they
Yeah,
just-
Fortnite is something that's like really
Yeah.
popping right now.
Yeah.
You mentioned that to me today. I was like, I don't know what that is, but I do play. I like video games. Let me not. But
total.
It's actually a brain trick. Anyway, it's a long story. We'll talk about it on another day. It's my own thought process, how you utilize it. But
So what do you guys think would be some, like, that's a problem. 7 point,
It's
he
a
said
big
that's a
problem.
work day.
that's
Yeah.
a full work day.
So if you thought about how many times you were on your social media, you got on, how many minutes you spend. I mean, I spend
much.
I spend
Yeah.
mindless amount of time on there. And
It's like the rabbit hole,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So you click on a link, and then you find yourself watching cat videos and, pimple. What is that thing? that
Dr.
you
Pimple
like?
Popper,
Dr.
I'm like,
Pimple
I can
Popper.
sit there for 2 hours at night. I'm just like,
Right.
And
And
you
you look
play
up
it
and
again.
it's
Disgusting.
2 hours ago.
yeah,
now, right?
it's like it was
No
9
shame.
and now it's 11.
Yeah.
So, some of the things that you do for your lifestyle, what would you
Yes.
recommend for somebody who is
Absolutely.
social media stuck?
So my whole
Good one,
mission,
right?
I think since I jumped onto social media like so late in the game, I think that's helpful because I have been all about connecting all this time. While all y'all been on
Yeah.
social media,
Yeah, yeah.
You build a
that's-
relationship.
I've been like, hey,
Yeah.
you
No,
know, face
that's
to
true.
face. And so I think that has helped me because I went from like 0 to 100 with social media, right? So I just started being on social media in general
Okay.
a few months ago, and then now started this whole
Lifestyle.
Ladybug lifestyle page. And so that's a big shift. And so I think that I've been able to, my last 10 years of not being in y'all's world has helped me bring some.
Not negatively, but
Right.
she doesn't wake up and go straight to like, yeah,
on the notification page.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
all this, all these years, the first thing I do when I wake up is check my Bible app and read
Yes, you do. And you send
read,
me.
read my Bible verse of the morning. I don't
She
check.
does.
I don't check my email first.
Yeah.
I don't check my social media first. That's the first, and so that's been ingrained in me because
Yeah.
I haven't been on social media. So I'm trying to bring some of those principles to social media.
Yeah.
Like working out, get a friend to work out with you, get an accountability partner. You know what I'm saying? So that's like helping you connect with people off your phone, outside of your phone.
So your morning routine, I love it because mine
It's not that.
is not
But I'm
that.
gonna get there. I'm working.
Yeah,
towards
that's
it.
awesome.
Go, day to go.
What's
Back
your
to
morning?
house.
What's your?
I'm not even up front. I wake up, what's popping on Facebook or Instagram,
Yeah.
shower, brush my teeth, get some breakfast, go to work.
That's he's like, and
Keep it
that's it.
Keep it
And what
real.
is yours? The same, right?
Well, see, mine is in reverse because I flip flop. So I work night. So I get up, go Oh, why am I awake right now? Why is my day just starting?
Right.
I have to do that for
That's
10 minutes,
real.
but I'm working on that. Hey, it's not most productive. And then I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I check my phone.
So we're gonna make a conscious effort, you
Yes.
guys.
Got to.
Like we're
Yeah, I
gonna
like it.
get up and at least Bible up. I'm for because
Yeah.
you're supposed to give
Yes.
Jesus the first
Definitely.
amount of your
Yes.
time. If you believe in
Yes.
Jesus, if you don't,
Yes.
it's all good.
Yeah.
We
Whatever,
whatever you
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
in.
Right.
So.
Whatever moves you.
All right, so then other things that are happening as far as problems is, of course, cyberbullying. So through social media, now we have all these issues with cyberbullying. And, that is a whole situation within itself where people have frustrations about what is going on and their kids are being,
That's true.
I
I was actually watching. Y'all watch that TV show called The Four? Have y'all seen that with Diddy and
I've
DJ
heard of it.
Khaled?
I've heard of it.
Oh,
There's a
yeah,
poster
I've
on
seen
there,
it. It's like The Voice.
It
Oh,
is,
for real?
But like
it's
Diddy and
with
them.
Diddy. And so it's pretty funny, but
It's like them making the band with DJ Khaled.
right.
Did he
But
shut down the studio?
more main,
Khaled.
yeah. We won't end up with Danity Kane
Yeah,
at the end, but
Oh, remember what was the group that was the boy? What was
I
it?
loved
The
it,
four.
yes.
It was it was
Oh,
just guys.
shoot.
What was the
I
name?
can't remember.
I-
It was
I
like
know
the
who you're talking
season.
about.
Oh,
before,
oh, God, I got it.
And
right
he
here.
made them like always go
Well,
walking.
that
at
says a
26.
lot.
Day 26.
Day 20.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
Day 26. But I digress. What was my point about this? Oh, yes. So they had a guest on there, and the interesting thing about it is she made a song. She was a pop singer. I think the song was called like Friday, and she talked about how she basically became a viral success, had millions of followers on YouTube, but then it backfired on her, and she ended up getting all these haters. Like they basically ran her off of the internet.
Oh my God! Through the
And,
cyberbullying.
Yeah,
Wow.
cyberbullying. It was like pretty sad, and she was young. She was like 13, and they were just like, "You suck.
Oh
like, we
no!
hate you.
Yeah,
Your
I
music
definitely
is
think
terrible."
it's definitely a suicide of Amanda Todd. Is this her? The girl with the cyberbullying? No. Okay. But
She was still cyberbullying.
Oh,
Okay,
great point.
yeah.
She was.
yeah,
She was.
definitely. And I think that's a
Crazy.
good one, Elijah. Like, people show. That was our producer, guys, for that video. That was awesome. I mean, just showing that people are committing suicide through social media. They can become isolated. They
Yeah.
literally want to. They
Yeah.
put their talent out there, and they're like, it's not received well.
Right.
And I'll even say this. Sometimes I'm here for the comments of the cyberbullying, depending upon what it is. So like when Drake's girlfriend, the new girl that he had out, the girl with the
How did I miss
big
this?
butt and the huge chest.
Oh, I saw that.
I mean, I went to her page
Yeah,
just
you
This
to
is
went for it,
recently?
huh?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I missed
It's
that.
a mess.
missed
It looks
it.
like a Zeus show, but I went to the
Just to see
page
the comments.
just to see
Yeah.
it. Or when they said Sanaya Lathan bid Beyonce, I went
What?
to Sanaya's page just to watch the people go.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Um,
Wait,
Y'all
let's go
remember
back.
that was
Human
Tiffany-
rights require antibiotics.
Tiffany
Make sure you get
Haddish
your
was
tetanus
like,
shot.
remember Tiffany Haddish? The whole thing was, it was Sanaya Lathan that supposedly bid Beyonce.
I
And
didn't know
so,
that
like,
too.
as soon as they
Wow.
found out about
Story.
that,
I didn't
Why
see
do I
that.
not know
but
this?
the engagement, the
realize.
problem that I felt like was, dang, I'm actually participating in cyberbullying. I'm just silent about it, right? Like, I'm going to the pages and I'm watching it because
Yeah.
I'm like, this stuff is hilarious, but unfortunately,
Well, yeah, you're
it's
right.
kinda
You're
hard,
right. You're
right?
right. You're right. Ooh,
Not
that
so
means I
good.
can't.
Hold that
the-
thought.
Oh,
We'll continue
yeah. Good
This
job.
portion
Good
of the
job.
show is sponsored by none other than The Sphere. Are you starting a business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv.
So one
Yay.
thing, Dr. Ellison, that you probably never experienced then, since you weren't on social media, was Facebook depression, which I didn't even know was a
Right.
thing, but now it's a
I didn't know it was a
clinical.
thing
What is
either.
Facebook
Yeah,
It's like an
depression?
actual
It's
diagnosis.
an
or
actual
what is it?
diagnosis now. They have it for
crazy.
students where it's keeping up with the Joneses. You have
Yeah.
this confidence that you cannot keep up. It's just
Oh,
our-
Don't
wow,
have
that's
that.
deep.
Don't have
Don't
that.
have that.
Don't have that. I
Don't
don't.
want
I
that.
don't care. I don't care what other people think. I ain't trying to get what other people have.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with myself.
So what would
Period.
you tell to our listeners some of the things that you do to keep that confidence? Because now what they're seeing is that people are comparing their lives on the Facebook, so they do not feel like they're living up to the standard because Facebook, social media, it makes you feel some kind of way. And so then again, if you don't feel like you're living up to it, you become isolated, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to engage because you're like, you're not doing as well as
Joe or Smo over here.
Right.
I
So what are
think it
some-
goes back to what we were talking about before. You need to be centered. You have to have something to keep you focused on. For me, it's my faith and my friends, all of that. So you have to be centered and have something outside of what you're seeing on social media to remind you of who you are.
Yeah, that's real.
I love it.
That's true.
Yeah.
How did you? But okay, let me ask you this: how did you avoid social media for so long, and what was your true reason? Just you wanted to connect more, or
What was my true reason for getting back on? For getting on,
off, or not?
for getting
on?
off. So let me tell you.
Keep it 100.
So
bring it to me, Dave.
well, I already told you about
Dr.
for
Ellison,
real. It
after you
really happened when I was walking in my hallway in my clinic about to go see one of my patients. When I just started private practice, a young lady literally sitting amongst 10 other women pointed and stopped and yelled, "Hey, I saw you on such," like that right there.
It was like, I know.
Wake up call.
So the other thing that happened shortly thereafter is someone hacked my Facebook account and sent a child pornography video to all of my contacts. And if you open the video, you got a virus on your computer.
Oh, no.
So that literally happened a couple of weeks after the experience in
Yeah.
my
You have a
clinic.
Mac?
So you were done.
I didn't have a Mac then.
Got a
Mac now.
Shout out to Apple. Give us some donations and sponsorship.
Quickly got
Right.
But yeah, it was just traumatizing. It was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and all
That's
that happened
horrible.
literally within 6 months of me getting on Facebook. So I was like, you know what, it's
This
not
ain't for
worth
me.
it.
How do people respond? Were they tripping, or I mean, they know that's not you, so.
I don't even know because I got off.
Oh wow.
I just cut it off.
Delete
so,
it.
It's
Yeah.
not like when you get those crazy chain mails and you're like, bruh, like, why are you sending me this? And
Yeah.
you're like,
Right.
wow, she probably didn't do that. Or he
Yeah.
I
didn't
didn't do it. Just FYI, I didn't
I
do
think
it.
the other thing too with social media in general, and that kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, like this whole perception versus reality thing is very rarely are people going to post like bad stuff or
Right.
like the dark parts of their life when things
Mhm.
are not going well, right? It's always like the highs, or we're at this place or this vacation or this
Very
part or
true.
what
Yeah.
have you, right? So you don't see what people are going through, like the Kate Spades and Anthony Bourdain's behind the scenes. And so it further builds up this idea of, man, well, everything's going good for that person. Like, what's up
So-
with
You know,
me?
I don't
You know
do
what I
too
mean?
much, but that's why I try to be I try,
Transparent.
within the
Right,
limits
right.
of what's appropriate and what I feel is comfortable sharing. That's not going to be in the universe
Definitely.
forever.
Yeah.
You're not trying to put
on
all
the
your business
internet.
out there, right?
But there
that's what
are,
I believe in it.
I agree with that. And I think that one of the things but I've been on the other side where I'm like, I don't want to see all your drama going
Yeah,
on in
no,
your
that's
life,
true
so
too.
don't
No, I
post that
understand.
up, right?
Yeah.
It's appropriate.
Yeah.
and
Well, that's
meaningful
true.
for
Because some
someone.
people
Right.
be like,
Yeah.
my
I mean,
boyfriend
I don't
didn't
wanna
did
hear your
all
baby
this.
mama drama.
Right.
No.
Right.
Right. No, I agree with that. I think transparency is super important. I think
Yeah.
that if the more people become transparent about the highs and lows
Right.
in a tasteful way,
Right.
it's important. Like for me, like I was battling a lot for the last couple of years. So I would put out, okay, hey, got this endometriosis diagnosis. Hey, if you're having something like this is what what's
Right.
been going on. Because I do want people to perceive like, hey, it's not all roses. And I think that that's why people have this perception of keeping up this Joneses
Yeah.
Facebook
Absolutely.
depression.
Right.
No,
I
it's
mean,
true.
and
Oh
that-
yeah, what is the actual like clinical?
No, I mean it's
Features
literally
of
like
that.
keeping up lack of confidence, and they suffer for severe depression because of the fact that they're comparing their lives to other people. So I mean, it's depression, but it's in a way it's induced because of what you are perceiving
Yeah.
versus what's people's realities. And just like you just said, was like it's truly because people put the best parts of their lives
Right.
up. They're not putting, hey, I'm sitting here, I don't have anybody to talk to. You
Right.
know, it's
Right.
I just had the best time of my life, right? So
Right.
Right.
Well, it's interesting because we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but I mean, I think that just goes into the whole idea of conditioning. And if you, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead, but you know,
No, go
I always
ahead.
have lots to say about this topic. But if you think, you know, social media pages are not reading your mind, they actually are. All they're doing is collecting data on you all day long. So
Yeah.
every click, every message you send, they're reading into
we'll
your
just get
behavior.
into it. What is
Yeah.
that from? It's called
Well, I mean, there's a
digital-
lot of different. I mean, it's not just one thing, but if we go into, you know, like the old case study of Pavlov's dogs, right, in which they take a neutral stimuli, like a bell, and they pair it with an actual thing that you need, like food or water or shelter, and they associate those two things together. And the normal response would be when you smell food, you kind of salivate if you're really hungry. So dogs would salivate. And so they paired this bell with it. And what ended up happening at the end was that now when the dogs heard the bell, they would start to salivate and increase their response at that time. But it's the same thing with social media. Like you hear a ding and automatically you know to check your phone. Like, that's crazy. So I'm like, if you think social media is not checking for you or your behaviors or your habits, you would be wrong. They know what you like. They will give you more of what you like. They feed your subconscious. Your subconscious works the same way. And so it's feeding on your own desires and inhibitions, and you don't even know it. And that's how we're fed a lot of content that we digest and take in. So it's really important, like Dr. Ellison was saying, to be very centered and know a lot about who you are as a person, or else you could very easily get caught up in Facebook depression and what you're supposed to, or think you're supposed to be doing.
And I actually learned from you before I started my lifestyle page. I appreciate how on your page you really talk about, I mean, you don't go into detail, but I have great friends, and I do this and I travel, but there have been hard times. There are currently hard times. And so I actually...
And all roses over here.
Right.
But it's good. It smells good all the same.
So I've actually learned a lot from you, watching you do that. And I try to put that out there on my page as well, because it's not, I put stuff like, we partying together, but we pray together too, and we cry together. We will cry together again, you know. So it's not, we were just balling out of control at your party, But next week, who knows what next week brings?
Absolutely, definitely. And so another thing that they were talking about, you're basically talking about the digital footprint, like what people are putting out there, and the positives when people are putting things out there. What is it looking like? But we got kids out here doing the opposite, the negative of social media, where they'll get into a fight.
They're getting fed. They're getting fed in some way.
But like the part where, like, let's say, for instance, the kid gets into a fight. Back in the day when you get in a fight in middle school or high school, that school may have knew about it, but then it was forgotten. Now you get in a fight, it's on World Star. It's on all of these different platforms, and it never goes away. So unfortunately what ends up happening is that you want to isolate yourself more because you now are becoming the talk of the town. You're marked from that. So you can be the kid. Hey, weren't you that kid that got in a fight? I'm in college now, but that was a fight that I got in middle school. When I got into a fight in middle school, didn't nobody know about that. That fight was, it was my first and last fight, and I did lose. And I'll never forget, after I lost that fight, my daddy was like, "We going to the gym," and he started teaching me how to box. Like, that is why I love boxing now, because that was like, so what you not gonna be is this kid that keeps getting punched. Did you leave you took the punch, right? I mean, I was just like, it was with hockey sticks. It was really dramatic, right?
Oh,
but
Lord.
But I remember middle school being, right? It was so terrible. I remember this being middle school, defining who I was in middle school. I was not the cool kid in middle school. So, but I was able to go to high school and completely transform who I was in middle school. You can't even do that anymore. These kids, unfortunately, the digital footprint is there. I mean, so now we have even girls that are taking pictures and selfies of themselves, sending their penises through the mail. And again, like, this is things that, now child pornography from social media has now went up 20%.
That's crazy.
Because if you think about it, like, you put these things out there, and this is, again, the impact of social media. So you make one bad decision, you send one picture, and now it stays out there, and now you don't want to engage with people because now this picture has defined you.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I think that's tough. I mean, if anybody's had, like, anything bad happen, and then you're like, dang, man, why is it all over? Like, why is
it follows you now, and now follows you. So, some of the things that we've got to figure out is
is bad PR.
Really? Kim Kardashian?
I don't think she's starving over there. I think she's doing all right.
But, I mean, when you don't have the forethought at 13 to think like that, which you don't, and even as an adult, like, there's some things that I think that you gracefully go through whatever you're going through, but there are some people who are not taught to do those things, and so then you start dealing with the cyberbullying, and then it connects into, I want to isolate myself. You know what? I just shouldn't even be here. Now I'm killing myself.
Ooh,
like 13 Reasons Why. I think that's on Netflix.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
pretty tight.
You should watch it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wait, I got a question. Okay, so how do you get catfish though? Like, I just want to know, like, if you haven't met anybody in like a year and y'all been talking online, like, at what point do you be like,
let's talk about that, right? Like, it's also a part of human isolation.
I have not seen your face. Like, I've never seen
people don't know how to communicate anymore, right? And so you don't know. Like, now they're showing studies on how people don't even know how to pick up with social cues, right? So something to you would make so much more sense. Like, okay, I've never talked to you on the phone.
Yeah.
Well, now we don't talk on the phone anymore. We all
Right.
text.
Right.
So is it so odd that we never pick up the phone and have a communication?
Right.
And I don't even know how to socialize because now I don't socialize anymore.
Right.
So all I do is talk on the phone. I mean, to me at first I was like, how does this happen? But now I'm like, it makes so much more sense now how
it's
it happened.
literally permeated like all of society, right?
Yeah.
Like I was when I'm at work and I have a long walk into my clinic, and literally everybody is like this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I am too sometimes
Mhm.
as well. But everybody's like this. It's like responding to an email or social something. There's something to do. And then even like at the grocery store, right, or anywhere else that's out, we always have these devices out. And so you get to this point now, like you said, when you're faced with a situation where you're actually going to meet and talk to somebody, or you got to get to that point where you got to talk to somebody. It's like people don't know how to do it.
They don't.
'Cause they haven't
True.
been doing it.
Yeah.
You know what's annoying though? Like when you're with the patient and they're on their phone constantly,
Yeah.
and you're like, you know, I got about 30 other patients to go see.
Do you
No-
say that to them
no-
though?
Oh, I do.
I mean,
I do now.
I do. I try to, and I have to, you know, it's something within myself that I had to learn. Not everybody knows and understands, and so I have to take it from the standpoint, I'm gonna give you a one time, like, let's, you know.
But I mean, isn't that a problem though? Like we're not
Sure.
even able to connect with people because of the fact, and that's a
Absolutely.
basic. Like, you're here for me to help you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and still, whatever is going on in this,
You think that's
this-
more important?
You think that that's more important, and you came physically here. So that's one of the problems that I find the biggest issue with social media is the lack. And I mean, even from the dating standpoint, like I think I wanted to throw this in here that people don't know how to get to know people.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, but oh man, that's tough because at the end of the day, I think you have to learn or develop the skills or try to develop skills in which you are becoming more interactive. And one really dope brand who's interactive is a company who is sponsoring our show called KOG and Company. And what they want you to know uniquely is that are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empowerment movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside of their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Come through, KOG. I like that. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at KOGpassion.com. That's KOGpassion.com and use coupon code DOPE. That's capital DOPE exclamation mark for 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now. Sizes are selling fast with a brand like that. Who wouldn't want to sell out?
Right.
I know, it's
Awesome.
awesome. So let's talk about a couple solutions. We've talked about the problems and what they're
Right.
doing as far as impact. So to wrap up the show, let's talk a little bit about what's some solutions. So
Ladybug lifestyle.
I love it. I love it. Plug.
I mean, I think that's the solution. You just have to stay humanly connected and spiritually connected.
Yeah.
I mean, so use social media to help you do better outside of your phone. Like, you know, I use it to find recipes that are healthy. I use it to find classes, workout classes. I use it to, you know, connect with a friend about a political issue, you know, but I do not allow social media to run my life to the point that I can't do anything outside of my phone. I use it to enhance my life outside of that.
That's a message right there.
That is a message.
So what do you got from the music standpoint?
Oh man, see, I don't want to play my little annoying song. I sent. We'll have to get it on another day. I'll upload it just to
Do
be
you have it?
annoying. No, it's.
You want to
no,
play it?
It's horrible.
Go ahead and
But
play it.
I
Let
went,
it go.
you know, we
Let
were.
it-
Now I feel like we need to
gotta
hear
hear
it.
it.
Now I gotta hear it. No, I want to hear it.
Play the song.
You don't hear it. It's the iMessage song.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Well, the funny thing was we were going over
That's good.
we were going over the show notes, and I was like, "What is this note in here about find a song with some ringtones?" And I was like, "What the what?" And I literally this song came on, and I was like, "This is so annoying." And I was like, "This is how we feel about our phones sometimes." I know I do. I have an instant like response to it. I'll be like, "No, ring her off."
Yeah.
And so the question I wanted to pose to everybody is, if you were a ringtone, would you accept, call, block, or do not disturb that message? And I just wanted to encourage everybody to think about what message they're giving out and what your energy is giving out as your calling card and your ringer. Y'all like that? Yes, come through ringtone. So, you know, I just
That's
wanted
good.
I mean, would you answer your own call, because everybody has that person in their life that I think when they call or they get a message on social media, they're like, why? No, not today. I don't have the energy. And so I guess I encourage everyone out there, let's be an energy giver. Let's be a phone call that everybody wants to receive so that you can uplift the people that are around you. And social media can be a platform, a tool for you to share your knowledge and wealth and your circumstances to empower other people. So, do Facebook. Don't let it make you.
I love that.
That
was a good one.
Yeah.
Good.
That's good.
I think that's a good way to end the show. That was really nice.
Thanks.
And that was really, I want to be the accept.
I
Do
know,
not
I'm like,
disturb.
oh.
I'm like, now I'm like, what is
What I
it?
be?
Like,
Yeah.
and I'm terrible
Yeah.
because after I get home, I literally turn off my phone and I'm like, so, because I
You
just
need
want to
you gotta
unplug.
disconnect a little bit,
Yeah,
and just
so
not be tethered to these things.
it can't be. So, well, Uzo, do you want to sign us off and tell us where everyone can meet you, and then
Yes.
everybody else can go around the table?
So hopefully you guys got a lot out of this show, and we'll continue to come back and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at UZO_MD. And we'll be back with more exciting content for you guys in the weeks to come.
Awesome, guys. So, and where can we find you?
You can find me on Ladybug Lifestyle, so it's Ladybug_lifestyle on Instagram and also Ladybug Lifestyle on Facebook.
Awesome.
Awesome.
NCB?
Hey, y'all. Holla at your girls. Dr. Kwanzaa, MD. You can find me on Facebook at Dr. Kwanzaa, MD. That's DRCWANZAMD. You can also find me on Instagram at dr_CWANZAMD.com. And you can also find me on my website, www.drkwanzaamd.com. Holla at your girl.
And of course, guys, you want your girl fix? Smile Design Studios, Dr. Simone Ellis on Instagram. Take care, guys. Bye.
Dope. See y'all.
Good night.
Yay!